you know what that relaxing music means, ladies and gentlemen? It means it's time for more of me. You know, I don't need this microphone. I'm not using it. I'm using a different one. Are we all ready to have a nice time together? Are we? Let's find out. For me to find out, I have to go to my Facebook page and make sure I'm actually broadcasting. One of these days, I'll stop testing this. I'll just assume that everything's fine. And there I am. And there you are. So you know what I have to do? I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to do the old comment with all my links in it that I'm going to describe for you right now. And remember, this is an interactive program. So what does that mean? It means I'm going to try and find a better way to find your comments. Your comments are an important part of this show. Hi, Jane. I'm doing great. Hi, Leslie. Hi, Jerry. You guys are awesome for always showing up. I guess I can let this music go, huh? I think we've gotten the point that the show has started. So now I will, of course, get the lake going in the background. Is the lake moving for me today? It's not. I'm going to fix that. I watched the whole thing last week and I realized the lake wasn't moving. I don't know what's going on. Must be a microclimate or something, where it gets really, really cold over the lake and freezes it completely until I ask it to start moving. That doesn't sound likely. That sounds silly. So, all right, let me find your comments again now. Everything's happening here. Hi, Thays. And it is amazing for you to be here, and the lake is moving now. Thank you, Megan. So now we can actually get into this thing. So so let me talk about the links that I posted there, because they're important-ish. If anything in the world is important, it's those links. Far more than the content. No, I'm kidding. So the first link, it's all about notification, my friends, and being a part of the show. It's twofold. So the first two links will get you notifications when I go live, either via Facebook or on your desktop. You click whichever link you want, or both, to be notified. How many people here today were notified by one of my desktop or Facebook messages? I'd be really curious to know that. But anyway, click those things and then you can get those. And then the third one is the fun one, because that is what feeds this right here, which is the Twitter feed, which has nothing in it right now because I haven't turned it on properly. But I'm doing that right now, even as we speak, even as I lose eye contact with you just for a moment. And now we're back. So all you have to do to appear here in just a few seconds, see, just like I did apparently, is tweet out about this show and use the hashtag Bob Doyle. No, not Bob Doyle Show. Bob Doyle LOA. Bob Doyle LOA will get you on this one. And there's a link there that I posted that says bobdoyleshow.com or Bob Doyle Show likes this, whatever it is, /tweet LOA. Click that, and I fixed it from last time so that it will pop up, and you can just hit go and it'll tweet, and then your name will appear right here. And what could be more fun than that? I don't know. Nothing, I'm guessing. So that having been said, I want to thank Lynn Rose, well, for so much. But she came in here and she fixed the lighting situation. I just have to acknowledge her for that. Because I was using these light bulbs to light myself that had an orange glow to them. And it messed up. I could not wear this spectacular shirt before because the yellow would combine with the blue, turn into green, and the green screen thing, because I'm not at the lake, believe it or not. I know you think I am, but I'm not. I'm in my studio with a big green curtain behind me, and that's the magic of technology. I know you want to hear about the law of attraction. I get it. That's why I'm here. But I have to do all this first. It's just part of the deal. It's free of charge, so you have to indulge me in all this silly banter up front. I don't know why. Have I been playing the ukulele, Michael, every day? Every day. You were notified by Facebook. Excellent, Jane. Thank you for letting me know. I like that. I think it's fun. Okay, so look. I have a fun announcement, and it is law of attraction related. Are you ready? So you all know who Christy Whitman is, I'm sure, right? You see a black screen, can't hear me. Nuh-uh. Oh, Maddie, just refresh or something, or start another browser. I've seen that's happened even to me, but it's, believe me, we're broadcasting. I see me right here. Christy Whitman, who, is a major thought leader, awesomely impactful in the lives of countless thousands or millions. A wonderful law of attraction coach and a coacher of coach, a certifier of coaches, my daughter included. Hi, Charlotte. Nice to have you here. Thank you, Michelle. I like it too. There's just something about having the lake back here that just makes me feel nice and relaxed. Just law of attraction. Let's touch nature. Why be in a big glitzy fancy studio when I can be anywhere I want? Why not the lake? Body of water. And as long as we have the technology to bring sound effects, let's do that too. Let's make this as real as possible. Isn't that what the law of attraction is all about? I think I got off on a tangent. I think I did. Christy Whitman. So guess what? Christy is going to be the guest on my show, the Bob Doyle Show. Not this Law of Attraction broadcast, but actually the Bob Doyle Show on not this Friday, but next Friday. The 10th or something of June. And so we will have some Law of Attraction related conversation because we're both in that conversation to an extent. But the thing about Christy is that she's just so fun. We cut up all the time. And that's what, when I bring people onto the Bob Doyle Show, I want it to be like that. Hi, Natty. I'm glad it's working. And no, I really am. I'm glad that you can see me now and am not in just the dark. Yeah, so Christy will be on the show. And the exciting part is I'm going to be in her newsletter tomorrow, which means she's telling everybody about the show, which means there'll be hopefully, a lot of people here for that show. And hopefully maybe even the show on Friday. Wouldn't you like to be a part of the in crowd? Consider joining us this Friday at noon Pacific for the Bob Doyle Show right here on Facebook. Okay. Anyway, I just think it's going to be fun to have Christy on the show and bring in a bunch of new people and all of that. So if you do show up, be on your best behavior. We want to make a good impression. Thanks. Okay. To be or not to be? That is the question. I know that we've talked on this broadcast a lot about the power of being and all of that. I want to drive that home again today a little bit. And I also want to say something, actually I'm going to say this first because I'm going to go ahead and post this link up and then it's done and I don't have to think about it anymore. Part of the reason why we even have to have a law of attraction conversations these days and help people, I'm going to go ahead and type this in and then I'll explain what it is. And help people with all of this and their vision and all of that is because of the school system and how we have, since we as children have been kind of pushed down this road and our dreams are squashed and blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. You're all conscious people. You know it's messed up. But I did go on a long rant on it last week on the Bob Doyle, or the 2 weeks ago, 2 episodes ago, episode 20. On this whole subject, and I would invite you to come and listen to it. Now, this link right here in the timeline goes directly to that part in the show. It's not, you don't have to sit through the whole thing if you don't want to, but it would be fun if you did, but you don't have to. But this whole topic of conversation around the school system and what it's doing to kids and how different kids are today than they were when we were kids and how their brains are different and how the system is trying to make them fit in a system that is not going to work with their brains, and then we label them as having a problem. Thank you, Natty. Are you guys tweeting? I should make sure. No. Oh, 2 of you have. Hold on. I'm clicking again. Well, no, Marion has done it twice again. Marion is awfully good at tweeting multiple times. Now, how about the rest of you? Come on, you can tweet this show. It'll be fun. You'll see your name in lights, like Lynn Rose and Marion. You can do it. It's so easy. Just click share. And you can also share on your timeline if you want to. Share the love. So anyway, I invite you to go check out that link and just listen to that and see if it resonates with you. Because especially if you have children in your life, it's something to think about. if you're considering having children in your life, if you've got young children about to go through the school system. Because here's the thing. What I said at the beginning of this paragraph, long paragraph, is that one of the reasons that we as personal development people, teachers, whatever, have to do what we do is because we've got a bunch of adults who have fallen into a way of being that is dysfunctional and not in alignment with who they are, and it starts early. Yes, your tweets are showing up, Marion. I've left the tweets from last week in there. I made a mistake last time, and it was tweeting to the wrong thing. Anyway, it's all fixed now. But because we, as adults, have been trained to think in a certain way and all about our limitations and all of this stuff, we're too scared to step into the, and we have no skills. We have no skills of stepping into being who we visualize ourselves to be, who we truly want to be. We've never been taught that. Because what we've been taught is like, here's who you should be, or here are some choices that will make you be a successful person. And here's how you get there. You go through this school system, and then you go to college, and then you get a degree, and that gives you your value. This is the conversation. And yet okay, so I'm not going to get off on the rant all over again. You can watch the rant somewhere else. But it all comes down to, this is what makes it challenging for people to do the most important step when it comes to making the law of attraction work, and let's talk about that again. And I'm going to keep talking about this until it's driven home and everyone can have exactly what they want. So many people approach the law of attraction, and by the way, this is a Q&A, so you can ask your questions anytime, and I will answer them as I see them come across, okay? Well, Natty, I'm sorry your internet is giving you troubles, but as you know, this is recorded and you can come back and check it out at any time. Most people approach the law of attraction with this: what do I need to manifest so that I can be who I want to be and have the life I want to live? So I need to have this much money, I need to have this house over here, I need to have this type of relationship, and then I can be this person. That's the approach that people have taken. And it's completely backward. And you'll probably never get exactly what you want if that's the approach you take. And here's what you have to hear. When you see your vision, when you've got your vision for the future, you have to look at who are you in that vision. Really, Jane? Awesome. Well, I'm glad that you're here. Who are you in that vision? And how different is it from who you are right now? And can the person who you are right now, can that person be the person in that vision? In other words, with all of your beliefs about whatever limitation or what has to happen first, is it even possible for that person with the limiting beliefs and the conditional, all of that conversation, to be the person in your vision? And the answer is no. So as long as you're waiting for all of that stuff to occur before you can be the person for whom that stuff would appear, you are running around in circles and it's not going to happen. And if you just think about it, think about how the law of it, and again, you'll get this when if you've really got a full understanding of how the law of attraction works. You cannot be sitting here with a belief system and a vibration of your limitations and what is and what you need in order to become, and expect that those things are going to show up for you, because those things show up for the person who is already being that, not the person who is aspiring to be it or is giving reasons why they can't be it. So it's just that whole, there's that act as if, you hear that all the time. You got to act as if. Yes, but that acting has to be in alignment with you actually being. Really, see? Be, do, have. Yes, Jeff. And people don't get it. The being is the most important thing. And I know I keep using the Bob Doyle Show as an example for everything, but you know what? This is how I can relate. I've always taught from my experience. When I was doing fitness, I taught from my experience. Because who else's experience am I qualified to talk from? So I'm talking about mine, and you can look at it that way. So the Bob Doyle Show, right? This is new endeavor. Like many of you might have new endeavors. You've got a passion that you want to follow. The Bob Doyle Show has always been one of those, and I had nothing but reasons why I couldn't do it. I wasn't ready. The technology wasn't ready. What if people don't like me? What if there's fallout and no one wants to listen to me about the law of attraction anymore because my show's too weird or whatever it is? All of those things. And yet I knew I wanted that. But I can never be that. I can never be this. I can never be a successful show host or whatever if I'm stuck here in this and all of these reasons why I can't be. I'm sorry, Jomati. Maybe later when it's faster you can rejoin. Or, whatever. But I'm so appreciative that you keep coming and showing up here. So, when I approached the Bob Doyle Show and got really serious about, well, this is what I'm going to do now, I had to, just like I did with the law of attraction 12 years ago or whenever, 2002, I stepped into being, I am a successful host of this show. That's it. Because I have to be that while I'm doing the show and making all my mistakes for it to ever happen. If I keep being an aspiring one or someone who's just trying it and whatever, has all the reasons, then that's what I'll continue to be. So I make a decision that no matter what happens technically, or no matter who shows up or who's on board or what the response is, no matter any of that external stuff, I am this and I'm successful at it. That's the decision I made. And that's the exact same decision I made when I got the law of attraction in 2002 and I decided that I wanted to teach it. I did not say, one day I'll be whatever. One day I'll be qualified to. No, I said, today I am a teacher on the law of attraction who will make a difference. And as a result of that decision, I either had downloads with information or I came across resources that it was just handed to me. And so from out of nowhere in the personal development world, 3 years later, I'm featured on The Secret and the rest is history, as they say. But it's because I just made a decision. This is who I am. And who people know me for in that space is exactly who I define myself to be. And now I'm kind of redefining myself a bit. So what I'm really clear on now is that I still have quite a passion for teaching the law of attraction. That's why I love doing this show every week. It is absolutely one of the joys in my life. I never considered it a show until today. I just considered it as a Facebook Live broadcast. But now I'm realizing I'm pretty much doing the Bob Doyle Show, but it's all just the law of attraction. I'm just not doing any of the bits. But how I'm occurring now on this broadcast is much more how I occur on the Bob Doyle Show than how I did before, as Bob Doyle from The Secret, which was a little bit more affected. Being aware that people are seeing me as a guru type or someone from The Secret, so I had to occur energetically as a certain way, and I've just let go of all of that. I'll occur how I occur, and you get it or you don't. And that is that's what I'm trying to say to all of you about whatever it is you're up to. You get clear on what would light you up, what would make you feel passionate, and you go be that unapologetically and see what happens. Yes, there will be fallout. Some people won't get it, whatever. And then it's up to you as to how you're going to respond to their response. For me, I made the decision, no matter what anybody says about any approach I take on the show in this case, I don't care. They can hate it, they can love it. I mean, I love it. Obviously, I like it when they like it. So it's not like I'm indifferent to that. I just did it. I just got off of an interview where the interview started with the hosts basically reflecting back their sort of review on what the Bob Doyle Show was, and their interpretation of it was exactly what I was hoping people would interpret it as. So that was so validating for me that I never compromised how I wanted to do the show. And that's what I'm asking you to do for your vision. Hello, Belinda. Nice to have you here. Marion says, since I've been living my future now, I'm changing. I'm believing in myself more. Right. Jane, I'm so happy that you had a moment of epiphany. That's what we're here for. But hopefully all those aha moments turn into action, right? Action like tweeting this broadcast. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this. I'm going to take the tweet thing off for right now because no one's tweeting. It's okay. But I'll use this opportunity to remind you who I am and what movie I was in and what we're talking about today and when we're doing it. Live right now. Unless you're watching a replay, which is your prerogative. It is. It's okay. I just appreciate that you're watching. I can't be here for every time zone. Now can I? That would be unreasonable. So I do what I can. But I have a secret goal. I have a secret goal that within, I don't know, a month or two, maybe we have 100+ viewers on this thing every week. I don't need it. I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm going to deliver the same amount of value, or not, as I do all the time. But it would just be fun to have why wouldn't it? It would be fun. And so now maybe after I do an interview with Christy and we talk about the fact that I do this to her audience, maybe some of her group will show up and I get my dream come true in 1 week or 2. But it's because I'm taking action and creating a vision for it and getting excited about it with no attachment. That attachment, it's dangerous stuff. I have to do this. Or else something bad is going to happen, or whatever. Or it's not successful if. All of those conditions. And I've said many times that just doing the show is the success. Not the number of viewers, not if it's making money or I have sponsors or any of that stuff. All of which would be awesome. All of which would be awesome and joyous and a reason for celebration. I would be immensely grateful for large audiences and sponsorships and all that. It's just kind of part of the fun of the vision. But the juice is I'm doing it, period. And that's how ideally you can all approach the things that you're passionate about, is detach from it has to be this way and it has to make this much money and it has to happen in this time frame. Because we're not really in control of a lot of that. I don't know when the Bob Doyle Show, for example, will have the thousands of viewers. I don't know when this Law of Attraction broadcast is going to have 100 viewers, right? But I do see that as long as I keep doing it and I invite people to share it, if I'm giving value, and hopefully I am, hopefully these aha moments or whatever are worth you sharing with someone that you care about or a group or whatever, and we get more people in here, and then I get to see, yay, we're making a difference. Because this, as I've said, is this broadcast, this weekly broadcast, is how I'm going to be interacting with people. Not through email, not through all the other stuff. That's all going away. So it'll be this. So if you're not clear on who you want to be, it's probably because your ego is just layering that with doubts and fears and worries and won't even let you look at it, not even let you check in with it, not even let you dare go down that road, right? Because, I could never have it, it would be too sad. All of those things that are keeping you from actually developing that vision. It's all the ego just lying to you to try and keep you safe. I'm glad you like this better. I do too. Looks like somebody tweeted. Nope, they didn't. It just looked like it, but they didn't. So we're staying right here with this label. And that's what we're going to do. So anyway, just recognize that it's your ego saying, don't even go there with your dreams. And that's why people say, well, I don't even know what I want. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. It's in there. You were born with it. It's in there. But you may be extremely disconnected from it. And your ego may be just screaming at you that, you can't even. And that's when you have to do some work. Get out a piece of paper and start writing stuff down. Start putting the things that you're interested in and light you up on paper and let it come to life. Get all this stuff out of your head and onto a piece of paper and look at what your thoughts about why you can't do it. First of all, what are they? Write them down. Write down in front of you so you can see what your ego is telling you about why you can't do something. Get it out of your head where it feels real and logical. Get it out of there and onto a piece of paper where you can see it for what it is, which is a bunch of nothing, a bunch of lies. And then you can see in black and white what's been ruling you for years. You go, wow, okay, well, I can totally choose not to let that rule me anymore. But until you know what it is and until you see how absurd it is on a piece of paper, you probably don't believe me. And you probably will continue to say, no, my situation is different and blah, blah, blah. That's the ego who wants to be right. So much better for you not to take any action and try what I'm saying so the ego can stay right than to risk maybe it doesn't work for you or whatever. Which if it didn't, so what? But I'm telling you, when you can see the ego for what it is and when you can see what it is that it's costing you, like writing down what you're what lights you up and what your vision, blah, blah, blah. It's seriously, once you start with the momentum, the energetic momentum, setting the intention of, I'm going to write down my passion. I'm going to create my vision right now, or at least the beginnings of it. And then every time and so you're writing that on a piece of paper, and every time your ego comes up and goes, no, because, write that down on a piece of paper, a different one. Here's the things that I quote unquote believe about why I can't do something. So just write down your wildest, craziest dreams, the biggest aspirations, the thing that would be the most fun. And then every time your ego says, no, here's why you can't have it, write that down. And then after you're all done, look at that list of why you can't do it. And then it's time to get serious about, wow, where's that coming from? Who said that first? Whose voice is it am I really hearing here? Is that my mom's voice? Is that my dad's voice? Is that a teacher's voice? Is that society's voice? Whose voice is that? Because it's not the truth. And then when you can realize what's been dominating you, you just have a lot more choices. Because the first step, as I've said a million times, is get that vision, and deciding, the theme of today is, who are you in that vision? And then look at, like, seriously, write down, who are you in that vision? What qualities does that person have? What does that person do every day? How do they start their day? How do they end their day? All of that stuff. Somebody tweeted, so I'm bringing Marion again. Marion's tweet feed is just going to be a bunch of hashtag Bob Doyle Show. Wouldn't you like to be a part of this group? The tweet group? The tweeties. I won't call you that. Anyway, I think you get the idea. You got to get clarity. Who are you? Oh, I remember what I was going to say. Yeah. So all the qualities of that person living that vision, and then identify the gaps. Who are you now that you're not going to have to be then? And what could you do today that is more in alignment with the future version than who you are? What little actions could you take? And believe me, there's a ton of them. There's so much you can do today that would change, that would move you into more alignment with this future person that you want to be than you can possibly imagine. Write some of this stuff down. Now, you've got reasons for why you're not doing it, but they're all, so many of them are BS. Oh, if I had this vision, then I would take more time to walk. You could walk. Go walk right now. Stop whatever you're doing, not this, after. And go take a walk. And then you'll come back and go, wow, I actually can walk, and the world did not end. I'm not so busy that I can't take 45 minutes out. Because your ego will tell you all sorts of stuff. You know, these headphones, I gotta say, they keep falling out of my ear. I've never had earbuds fall out so much, but they're really nice. Quite a quandary. They're made of wood. Did you know that about my headphones? How could you have known that? I don't think there's a way you could have known it. Unless you've seen me take them out and go, that doesn't look like plastic to me, that looks like wood. But none of you are doing that. That would be the craziest reason to show up for this thing. I need to analyze Bob Doyle's headphones today. I got to get out of this meeting somehow. All right. You know, really, I've realized that my message is really boiling down. I've been teaching the law of attraction a zillion different ways, a zillion different angles for years. And as the more I do this, the more I really live it and go through the bumps of not doing it, not being congruent, I'm realizing that it's really so much simpler than we're making it. I mean, I love pointing at the science of the law of attraction and dissecting it and talking about all the little aspects of it for those of you who like that kind of stuff and need that kind of stuff to fall on board. But when push comes to shove, you don't need to know any of that. All you need, it says, to know is what your vision is and that you're not going to stop till you get there. That's it. The law of attraction will take care of it for you. You don't even need to understand how. But easier said than done, right? Because we're also programmed to worry and overanalyze and all that other stuff and believe our ego and all that. So that's why there is a space for programs and seminars and all of those other things. But man, I just don't want to see people become dependent on seminars and programs and gurus, because you don't need that stuff. You just need a vision and a commitment, and the rest of it will take care of itself. But I will continue to answer your law of attraction related questions, regardless, to any depth that you want. So it's only 12:30. You know, I put aside an hour for this stuff, but I think I've pretty much driven this bee thing home for today. So if you have questions about something else, now would be an amazing time to ask them. I will remind you again that Friday then, no, not, well, Thursday, tomorrow, Christy Whitman's newsletter comes out, which I will then read on Friday on the Bob Doyle Show about her appearance the next week. So if you're a Christy Whitman fan, please be here a week from Friday. And don't worry, I will be reminding you next Wednesday and doing all sorts of promos. Meanwhile, I'll throw this out there. You know, this so far, these law of attraction minutes or whatever, just Bob Doyle. It's Bob Doyle only. But if there are people out there that you think would be interesting to interview or bring into this conversation with a certain area of expertise or whatever, I will definitely consider doing that. I just want to be careful about drifting back into a way of doing things that doesn't fit the vibe I'm in right now. But like Christy would be perfect because we would have fun together. Sonia Riccati would be great. Carol Look, because I've known her forever. You know, all these people. But if it's somebody I don't know, maybe not, you know. Let's see. Belinda says, it's like what you said before about how, I guess, we are conditioned to respond with distress or worry. Yeah, we've been trained to go down a negative path, an over-analytical path, and in fact trained to the extent that if we don't go there, we feel irresponsible. You know, or immature. We should be worrying about this. We should be analyzing this because that's what my parents did and that's what they do on TV. We should worry about this. We should get upset about this. When that's completely one option and one you don't have to take. It doesn't matter what situation you're in. You can choose to be fine about it. It takes a lot, you know, especially if it's something that is kind of universally agreed upon to be a bad, quote unquote, thing, you know. Because you'll get all sorts of agreement around you that, yeah, that's a bad thing. And it's going to be hard for you to hold that, yeah, I can see why everyone in the world thinks that, but I'm choosing to handle this differently. And things will always be better for you if you can. But we're human, and we do get sucked down that road. Yeah, I love Sonia too. So anyway, the point is if you got suggestions, I'm open to hearing them for people that we can bring on here. And if I don't know them, like I'm trying to get Tamara Levitt. Tamara Levitt is the voice of the Calm app, and as it turns out, the founder of Calm. And that's the meditation app that I've been, talking about on this broadcast and even the Bob Doyle Show for quite some time, because I just think it's an awesome meditation application, one of the most practical I've ever seen. And I would love to get Tamara on here, but it's been kind of got to ask people and all that. I thought if I was going to the founder, but whatever. So hopefully that'll happen. But yeah, just people in general. All right, Natty. Well, thank you for hanging out. You're very sweet. Love you too. And it's my pleasure to do this. And yes, I will be here next Wednesday. And like Marianne says, it really is so simple. We don't have to allow ourselves to get upset over the little things that happen every day. The universe always takes care of things if we allow it to. It's going to respond to what we do. I mean, it's so easy to turn those little things into freaking huge things. And not only do that, but absolutely believe it and fight for the bigness of them. If someone were to say, you know, in the big picture, it's a little thing. No. And then as you defend it, as you defend your upset, as you defend how big it is, it only makes it... Excuse me, I am doing a broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, when you do a live broadcast, it's customary to put your phones on vibrate or turn them off completely. Sorry about that. It's rare I have my ringer on anyway. The sound of the phone, I have to admit, it puts me in a negative space. It's somehow over the course of the years, getting phone calls has become a trigger where I don't like hearing it. So that's the way that works. Okay, let's see. Calm is awesome. Yes, it is. and you implement the LOA in your classroom. That's fantastic. What age of people are in your classroom, Sharon? And Sarah Jane has been using Calm since I mentioned it. See, folks at calm.com, I'm making an impact. I could. Okay. No, I'm not, I'm not really giving them a hard time. They got their reasons for whatever. I'm just being a brat because I'm used to getting people on the show when I want. What? You have to think about it? That's my ego. You just saw it. So, anywho, yeah, I just want to bring more and more interesting things into this show, even though how do you get more interesting than me just talking to myself? I don't know that you can. Oh, I know, talking to you. That makes it way more interesting. And the more of you there are, the more people I get to talk to. And the more questions I get to answer. Does anyone have a question? Or are we just hanging out? I like hanging out. We could just hang out. But eventually, if I don't get a question, I'm going to start ranting on something. Or I'm going to start repeating myself on the topic. But yeah, I had just gotten done doing this broadcast with Dagny Grant and Beth Donnelly, Echoes of the Universe. And it was interesting. They have their show on Blog Talk Radio. Just got done doing it right before this show. And I'd forgotten that I did the voiceover opening for them. So the show starts and my headphones are going, that guy sounds like me. I was like, oh yeah, that is me. Following my dream of voiceover, following one of my passions, which is really what's making this passion of the Bob Doyle Show happen. That's kind of the underlying thing, because the Bob Doyle Show is not a revenue generator at this time. But voiceover is. And I love doing voiceover too. So back when I made my commitment to stop doing things I don't like doing and only do the things I love to do, the universe has supported me in that. And kept me extremely busy with voiceover, which I love. And shown up with the technology and all the other things to pursue the Bob Doyle Show and all the passions around that. Do I read other books from teachers like yourself? You know what? I'm really not that much of a reader. I go through phases, and it's been quite a while since I went through a phase. The last book I read was Marie Kondo's tidying book. Boy, I can't remember what it's called, but it's about tidying your place. The something powering of tidying up, power of tidying up. Anyway, you may know it. But she's not a law of attraction teacher. But anyway, so I don't read that many books because I'm too busy doing my life. It's really interesting. I will share this with you because you're not asking questions and we're just hanging out. So let's talk about this. Oh, Marion snorted. Sorry about that, everyone. I haven't, just like reading books, I'm finding myself not really wanting to go to events, seminars, take another program, any of it. Because I'm so, ladies and gentlemen, Lynn Rose.
I can't find your link anywhere on your pages.
Bob Doyle LOA. Bob Doyle LOA. Facebook.com. I don't know. I forgot what I was going to say. Anyone want to remind me? I totally forgot. Lynn was just in here saying she can't find this broadcast. I don't know why, but Lynn's like the ultimate beta tester for this show. If something's not going to work or something is confusing or whatever, it happens to her. Saving all of you from it, maybe. Anyway, unclutter, read books. Oh, seminars, going to other things, yeah. Because there's something about when I clicked into going, the Bob Doyle Show, that's what I want. Then I was able to just go, and none of this other stuff is a priority right now. I do not need to scatter myself over here. I don't need to be healed this way. I don't need this over here because I'm focused. I'm more clear than I've ever been, and all of this other stuff would be a distraction. It's all good. I mean, events are good, seminars, books, they're all good stuff. They could probably add value to my life if I was open to it. But I'm not. Right now, it's forward because I've never been so clear as to what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And so I don't feel like I need to fix myself. I don't need to tweak myself right now. There's nothing more right now that I need in order to go fast forward towards what I want. Now, if I was feeling stuck, if I was feeling unclear and I needed clarity and I thought a program or whatever could help me along that path, fine, I would consider it. But a lot of us, I think, feel like, oh, well, there's this new thing. Maybe I should check that out. I should check that out. How about if you just did what you need to do? Followed your path. Stop thinking that you need another thing. Because chances are you've done more than enough things. And now your ego is distracting you. Because you know what you need to do, and that's get the vision and start taking action. Boom. Easy peasy. But your ego will see an email about a thing and go, oh, well, maybe if you did that, that would do it. That would be the missing piece. And how many people have you, that's not really a thing. How many of you have said that to yourself? This is the thing. This one right here. Now, I know I'm kind of saying, Bob, don't you sell programs that are supposed to... Yes, I do. And I'm not saying that programs are useless. I'm saying that for a lot of people, it's unnecessary because they already know what to do. They don't need another person to tell them in a different voice what to do. Because the ego takes it all and goes, oh, you've heard that before. You don't need to do it that way. Try the next thing. Try the next thing. Try the next thing. Try the next thing. Well, the more money I spend on this, probably the closer I'm getting to an answer. I think that we all, Blenda says, I think that we all get to the point where we have studied the LOA and attracting so much that what we really just need to do is live it. Exactly. You know, I will always be a perpetual student of things, law of attraction, whatever, life. We learn our life lessons. But we should not stop the progress of our lives because we don't feel like we know enough. You know what to do. So just take that first step. And if your ego has got you convinced that you're too scared or that you need this or that or the other thing first, just take an honest assessment. How many programs and things, seminars have you taken that have actually helped you? What did you take action on? What nugget did you learn that you may still quote to your friends and that you're not living? And if you're not living it, why not? What is the voice telling you about why you can't implement this thing that you know? And that's what you need to write down on a piece of paper and go, oh, look at my ego lying to me. Am I going to be ruled by a liar? Is in essence what you need to have. Chasing shiny object syndrome. Yes, Belinda. Oh, this new thing, that sounds super cool. That's got to be the one. And then you spend all your money and you take your time, or you don't. Or you realize very quickly it's not going to be the thing. Look, I'm a shiny object chaser, for sure. But not in this conversation anymore. Not about what do I need to fix me. You know? Because first of all, just because something goes wrong in your life doesn't mean that you're broken. It means that you're living your life and you're learning from what happens. It's a perfect mistake. Every mistake that you make, everything that shows up, it's perfect. It's helping you make adjustments. Unfortunately, we're programmed to say, oh, well, if I make one mistake or 3 mistakes or 7 mistakes, it's a sign from the universe that I shouldn't be doing it. That's such a load of crap. Do you want to do it? Do you love to do it? Then freaking do it. And take those mistakes and learn from them and say, yeah, thank you, universe, for telling me how not to do it. It's the whole Thomas Edison 10,000 light bulb thing. This whole, well, your email didn't come through, or when I clicked the link, my credit card didn't work, so it's probably a sign from the universe that I shouldn't take your program. That whole mentality is what takes this conversation about the law of attraction and all this and just makes it ridiculous. It makes it absurd. You know, and people who are logical thinkers, I mean, well, maybe your card didn't work because you punched the number in wrong, or you didn't, the address, or maybe it was just, it has nothing at all to do with your destiny and the universe trying to tell you, don't do that. How do you feel about it? Are you 100% engaged in doing this thing? Then make the freaking credit card work or find an alternate form of payment. Don't make up this crap about the universe doesn't want me to do it. Do you want to do it? Do you know in every fiber of your being that it's the thing to do? Then stop letting your ego tell you that some crazy stuff like the universe doesn't want you to do it. And I'm not just talking about credit cards or buying programs. I'm talking about how anybody will interpret signs and they say from the universe that they shouldn't follow their dream. What? Yes, perseverance communicates to the to the universe and everything else that you're serious. But to me, it's like it's not even an issue. I'm going to keep like it when I eliminated alcohol. It's like, well, I'm not going back. That's not even an option. There's never going to be another drink or even a temptation for one. And same thing with the Bob Doyle Show. Well, I'm going to keep doing it if no one shows up because I love doing it. Why would I not do it just because thousands of others don't? Why would I stop myself from doing that? The ego will tell you, well, because you don't have time to do that, you need to be out earning a living or whatever. Well, if I'm earning a living and not enjoying my life, what is the point? There isn't one. That's the answer, by the way. Just filled in the blank for you. Hey, a couple of other tweeters came in and I didn't see that. Or it was Jeff. Twice. But thank you, Jeff. Okay. All right, let's go back to your comments and see what the folks are saying. I love it that you're talking amongst yourselves. That's one of my favorite things. I sure would like to be able to see this bigger. I mean, more. Uh-oh. Well, my browser's being weird. Am I being stuttery to you? Is this broadcast a little shaky this time? It seems like it's a little shaky. I don't know. Could just be me. Anyway, all right. Well, this has been fun. I enjoy doing this more and more every single time I do it because it feels more and more just natural, like we're hanging out talking about the law of attraction. And that's what I want to do. And I hope you guys don't mind that I get kind of, about certain things. Because quite frankly, and that's the beauty of doing it this way, because I don't have to set up a conversation to say, and I've got a program that would address that very thing. Even though I could do that, but I'm not going to. And not doing that, not knowing that I have to lead you to anywhere, it's so great that I can just share what's there for me. But if I ever really, if I'm now doing you a disservice by not telling you about something that could help you, then that's silly too. So if it ever makes sense to refer you to something that I know will help you, then I will do it without apology and without hesitation, just so you know. But for right now, you had to quit and start a few times, huh? Yes, I don't know if that's on my end or on your end or whatever. Hopefully this will not be one of those where the audio's weird. Oh, hey! I didn't even know we had a visitor. Look at that chroma key. You cannot tell anything around here. Lynn Rose, again, thank you for coming in here and making my lighting light. She lit up my life, literally. And now this broadcast looks 1,000,000 times better. All right. I'm just looking at my various things here, but I guess I'm going to wrap it up. Unless somebody has a last second question. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to ask it. Oh, look. And now a little love break from Cody. Isn't that nice? See, I could never work anywhere else. Is this the stuff of life or what? I'm very grateful for my dog, for those of you who don't know. Okay, but I do need you to sit down now because I'm going to end the show. Well, whoop. I'm going to try to end the show. Ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, dogs, children of all ages, whatever group you fit in, or maybe you fit into several groups. We live in a different time now. For example, it's 12:49 right now. A minute ago, it was 12:48. So, totally different time. It's like a whole new era. When does an era start and end? For all we know, an era just now, or now started. A whole new era. It's not delineated. How do you delineate? I don't know. Okay. I'm being silly now, which is the most fun thing to be. So I think I'm going to leave you all and go be silly at Lynn. I think she could use some silliness right now. So I'm going to go do that. I hope she welcomes it. There's nothing worse than going in and being silly and then being rebuffed. Makes you scared about being silly. But I'm not going to be scared. I'm going to just keep doing it. I'm going to be silly all day. You just use the word era in a post. See, we're in alignment. But this theme really evolves, doesn't it? Just adds layer and layer. And gets a nice little groove to it. Okay, everyone, be awesome to each other.